Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on the Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshines. Sorry I'm so late. I had my course, I had to go ahead and move the mic. Sorry, I'm late. I had a cleaner at the apartment today and it just threw me all the way off. There's something kind of like cool here in France, which is that the government pays like 50% of like you hiring a cleaner or like a cook or it could be like a trainer or something to come to your house. Like it's like a thing that they do for people who come and do services for you at your house. So basically you pay what, like anywhere from 25, 50 euros a month, even 100 euros a month if you want someone to come weekly. So that's what I take advantage of while I'm here. I have to check and see if they have that in Spain as well. I was like, what, really? Let me take advantage of this. Oh, so I just got out of the shower. I took the warmest, coziest shower. I sprayed myself with that nice perfume y'all got me for Valentine's Day. I am feeling good, y'all. We've got a lot to talk about in today's morning report, so stay tuned. Once again, a welcome to Justice and Ashley to the channel membership. I did post a photo from that comedy club I went to. It's kind of like Art Deco vintage style in the channel membership section. So hopefully y'all enjoy those photos that I've got over there. Let me see who's here for our report. We've got Saima, good morning. Jaleesa, Houston Rose. Houston Rose, I've been loving the polls that you put in your community tab of your page. So Houston Rose Gardner has a YouTube channel where she talks about like, you know, having her home garden, becoming a florist and stuff. But she gives you all sorts of like cool, fun facts about flowers and stuff. I think the one that I saw today was about how sunflowers follow the sun, and I love it. Check out her channel, y'all. Mrs. H is here. Hello from Vegas. Kristen, how is your son doing? Is he recovering well and everything? I hope all is well on his end. And for Stephanie, we've got a question. Ça va comment avec ton mari? How is it going with your husband? Hopefully, actually, hang on. Let me look at my notes. It wasn't you, Stephanie. It was actually Allie, I believe. So sorry about that. Allie, how's it going with your husband? We need an update. Good morning, Georgia, Venetia, Brittany, Cynthia, Patty LaBelle, Mona, Tadisha, Linnell, Theo, Hold My Foot, Joe, Just STFU, Kahara, and everybody else who is here. So let me give you guys a little bit of a rundown on what we're about to talk about in today's morning report. I was actually just listening to Khloe Kardashian's podcast as I was showering just now. And she told the story that like none of the media outlets have picked up for some reason, but it is major, you guys. And it is that she and like her friend Malika, they had another friend who made them watch her having intercourse with her boyfriend. It was this very, very weird thing, y'all. Khloe, again, she's got this podcast called Khloe in Wonderland. Like, it's actually rather interesting. We've got some other stuff we're going to talk about from the podcast as well, such as Malika going behind her back to hook up with her brother, Rob Kardashian. Kris Jenner telling her she should be giving random men BJs on the first date. There's an awful lot, you guys, so stay tuned for all of that. We also have to talk about Karen's sentencing. It got announced literally like 10 minutes after we finished with yesterday's morning report. I was so pissed that we missed it, but I've got some news and updates, including her RHOP co-star Gizelle Bryant's reaction to her sentencing. Unfortunately, there's the passing of millennial actress Michelle Trachtenberg, which really, really, really hit me in my millennial heart. I've got a lot to share about that. And I just want to like kind of reminisce on our own memories of her because I'm sure she touched so many of our lives. And so I want to know what you guys loved her for and from. Gypsy Rose is sharing some updates about her daughter. and more. Okay, you guys. So per usual, if you're enjoying the stream at any point, do not hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up, a like, so that YouTube knows you enjoy my content. All right. So let's get into the Karen Huger of it all. And by the way, I do have audio from her in that courtroom yesterday. Can I ask you, let me go ahead and open up the chat. How do y'all feel about the verdict? Wasn't that insane? I know we were all talking about how she deserved the prison time and everything. This was her 4th DUI after all. However, just the fact that it's actually real is really shocking to me, in addition to the fact that the judge gave her more than the prosecution was even seeking. Prosecution said, okay, let's just give her 6 months. The judge said, nope, we're going to give her 2 years with one of them suspended. So she will be serving 1 year in prison. And that is starting immediately. Like, that is crazy. I was not expecting that at all. However, I do believe that it was warranted. Again, 4 DUIs, you are playing in people's faces and you need to be taught a lesson. How do y'all think she's going to go ahead? How do y'all think she's going to fare over there in prison? I don't think that she is cut out for it personally, but we'll see. Listen, she's got no choice. Luckily, as humans, we do adapt rather easily and quickly to our circumstances. So I think she's going to be able to. And I do also have to ask any of you legal eagles, do you think she will actually be serving the full year, or will she be able to get off with good behavior? Let me know. Okay. So let's get into that information. Okay. Let me pull up her photo. So again, Karen was sentenced to 2 years with 1 year suspended in her drunk driving case. She will also have 5 years of probation. She's got 30 days to appeal the judge's decision, which I'm pretty sure she is going to attempt to do, and 90 days to ask the judge to reconsider his order. Another thing that I think she is going to do. And while she was taken into custody, Karen told her husband, Greg, you'll be all right. God's got you. I love you. So let's take a listen to what she had to say from that courtroom. Okay, here is that video.
Drinking responsibly, especially while taking medications, mean not drinking at all. I failed at that miserably. I understand how lucky I am that I hit a tree. Thank God I did not hit a pedestrian.
Huger had been arrested 3 times before for drunk driving offenses. She told the judge today she plans to be a lifelong member of Alcoholics Anonymous.
I was spared because I have a responsibility to use my unique optic lens and teach others and affect quite possibly millions of people with the message of not drinking and driving.
Now, the defense had tried to keep Karen Huger from serving any jail time, asking if she could instead do home confinement. They had offered to have her do a handheld breathalyzer device where she would blow into it several times a day to prove that she was staying sober. But the judge pushed back on that, saying she needed to learn her lesson and serve jail time.
We need to help Ms. Huger break this down.
So there you go. The rest of the video cuts off there, but the judge said, listen, we need to show her and help her to cut this dangerous and destructive habit, which is driving under the influence. Remember, 4 DUIs doesn't mean that she's only gotten behind the wheels drunk 4 times. She probably has multiple times and, was like, oh, I'm a pro at this. I've only got caught like 3 times. I'll be good. And then on the 4th time, they said absolutely not. And I love that he stuck to his word and said, no, you need to serve prison time, because it's true. She was so arrogant about this, looking for her soldiers, saying all of this will be cleared up. It's all a misunderstanding. I've always hated how lax the law was when it came to DUIs and whatnot, even if you were to kill somebody. And I really feel like someone doesn't have to lose their life and be sacrificed for a drunk driver, especially a repeated drunk driver, to finally see the inside of a prison cell. And so I'm happy that she ultimately got this sentence. She deserved it. She had so many chances. And she's always bragging about being married to the Black Bill Gates, being rich, this and that. What? Like, she didn't need to drive. She has never needed to drive. Right? She always had the money to hire a taxi, to hire an Uber, to hire a car service. In fact, her husband, the Black Bill Gates himself, did actually go ahead and hire her a driver. Isn't that blue eyes, right? And so she's still doing this. Sorry, but I have absolutely no sympathy for her. I used to love Karen Huger, right? But I've been disgusted with her and like her arrogance about this entire case. And so, and I have to tell you guys about her RHOP co-star Gizelle Bryant's response to all of this. And hi, good morning to everybody joining in. It is so nice to see y'all here. Here is Gizelle Bryant and what she had to say about the entire ordeal. And she talked about this during her 21 Shady Questions live at City Winery. She held an event actually just the same day. She said to her audience, and I quote, "I'm shook. This just happened today. I do not have her wigs. I am concerned. In all seriousness, I'm concerned for her safety. Karen ain't cut out for jail. I pray that she's okay and that the Lord is with her." Listen, the Lord was with her when he kept her out of jail for those 3 DUIs. Don't bring him up now. Don't bring him up now, right? Good luck to you, Karen. And I hope that this finally helps you to recognize, accept, and own the fact that you have a drinking problem. You are most likely an alcoholic, right? And there's no shame in that. It's a sickness like any other sickness, but you need to accept that, own that, before you can change your pattern of behavior. So go ahead, really take that time. She said that she wanted, instead of prison time, to be doing these like random breathalyzer testings and stuff like that. I don't think that's enough. Lock her up, throw away the key. Jasmine says, Karen has been such a disappointment, and I completely agree as well. Okay, you guys. Now I do want to catch up to some of your comments. I see a lot of you guys are here to talk about Michelle Trachtenberg and her passing as well. So we're definitely going to pick up on that. And I saw some of the comments coming in from the things I was saying at the very beginning of the live. So let's go ahead, catch up with that, and then we'll get into Michelle Trachtenberg, okay? Houston Rose, by the way, says, it's very irresponsible. Texas law requires convicted drunk drivers to pay child support if they kill. Oh, good, as they should. Pay their tuition, pay everything, pay their therapy bills, pay everything. And I saw somebody else say that she should have had her license revoked. She should never be, I think it was you, Ali, she should never be able to drive again. I agree. Get rid of her license. She honestly should never be able to have a license anymore, especially where she's at, right? Financially and stuff. She'll be fine. She's got her driver. She'll be good, right? And I agree with you, just STFU. Thank God she didn't take anybody else out, okay? Once again, good morning to all of you joining us for the Morning Report. We go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the day's hottest story. Our last episode for the week is tomorrow, but we'll be back again next Monday for the full week as well. Just STFU also said, can anyone believe the story of Gene Hackman, his wife and his dog? So I did hear about this, that he, his wife and his dog were all found passed away in their home. Rest their souls. I'm so sorry to hear about that. And, no other details have been released as of yet, but I'm wondering if it is a case of carbon monoxide poisoning or what, because they did say that no foul play was suspected. Just so tragic. Kristen gives us an update. She says that her son is doing well from his surgery. He is resting and healing, and we love to hear it. Thank you so much for keeping us updated on him. And, feel free to continue to let us know how he's doing. We're all praying for him. Okay. So Allie's in the building. And so sorry about that, Stephanie. It's because you guys are I think of you, Allie and Boss Babe, and of course my bestie Julie as like my Haitian girls. So sorry about that. I had you guys mixed up, but sorry, I had it right. It was Stephanie. It was both of you. Oh my God, y'all. Listen, I'm happy you got him in therapy, girl. I am so damn happy. Okay. Now let's get into the Michelle. Oh, and by the way, sorry, we had one more. Erica, her boyfriend went to the perfume shop that I talked about here in Paris. There's this Arab perfume shop. It's called BLV shop. It's in the 20th arrondissement, Metro Station Belleville. And so she says that her boyfriend went to the shop, and you love the perfume he selected. Erica, what perfume did he give you? I'm so happy you had a great time over there. That's amazing. They're so lovely, and their selection is insane. Okay. Now, y'all, why don't we get into the Michelle Trachtenberg story? Again, this story was just, my brother sent this to me when I was in the metro on my way to that comedy show I was telling you about yesterday. And I was in the metro and my jaw dropped. I said, no, like there's no, what? Oh my God. This was just, it came out of nowhere. And I am still so stunned that it's real. Michelle was just such a huge part of so many of our childhoods and like our adolescence and stuff. She has always been such a brilliant actress. I first knew her from Harriet the Spy, and the way that I loved that movie, I had to have that same notebook that Harriet the Spy had as well. I thought she was the most beautiful child, and just seeing her in Gossip Girl as well, I was so excited for her to be on that show. And so just, I've always loved Michelle Trachtenberg, and just, it's so crazy how much these actors or these singers or just these public facing people touch our lives, and sometimes you don't even realize it, right? Because I hadn't personally seen Michelle in anything in a really long time, but it's still just, especially because like she was a part of my childhood and my adolescence and stuff, it still feels like you're losing someone that you know or something. It's heartbreaking. And so in seeing you guys talking about how touching this has been to you in your own lives and where you all remember her from, like, it's so special, and I hope that she knew how much she was loved, because sometimes this happens with famous people, especially if they were extremely famous once upon a time, and then that kind of dwindles out. They forget that there are still so many people who love and care about them and who support them, right? And so I really hope that she knew that she was loved. Brittany says, I definitely woke up feeling heavy this morning. I loved Michelle and Buffy, Harriet the Spy, Gossip Girl, The Adventures with Pete and Pete. The list goes on. Gone way too soon. So talented and beautiful. I completely agree. Eliana loved Michelle Trachtenberg from Ice Princess. That was one of her favorite movies. Rest in peace, Michelle. I'm just really loving like hearing you guys' own stories about like where you knew her from, where you loved her from. Kimberly loved her in Gossip Girl. Every time she appeared, her character would cause trouble, right? Like she had just that black cat energy mastered in her role on Gossip Girl. Oh my God. This to me calls for a Gossip Girl rewatch. And Gossip Girl has a special place in my heart because that was one of the books that I could not put down as a child. It reminds me so much of like my elementary school friends, one of my friends, Chelsea, because we were such Gossip Girl lovers, y'all. We would read all the books, and then like if she'd have a book that I didn't have, she'd loan it to me, and if I had a book that she didn't have, I'd loan it to her. And then it was do you guys remember the sequel to Gossip Girl, It Girl? I loved it. There was also like the A-list, like there was just something so much, but I think the A-list was written by a different author if I'm not mistaken, but there was just something so magical about this universe to me. And so just everything about it has just honestly, like it really has touched my heart, just like it's touched all of you guys' hearts as well. And so rest in peace to Michelle Trachtenberg. I do have to say that more information has been revealed about her passing, and this is I really love and respect TMZ as a publication. I do think that they are very honest and open, even when they get things wrong. I think that they're a trustworthy source. However, and I think that's it too, Jen, right? Like you're reminded more and more of your own mortality as people in your age range, start to pass away. One thing about TMZ is that I do think that they take things too far sometimes. So there are some details that they have revealed that I'm personally not going to share here on this channel. All I will say of the information that we have been privy to is that her mom, unfortunately, was the person who discovered that she had passed away. It's being said that her body might have rejected a liver transplant that she received within the past year or so. And in that vein, I do have to say the article that my brother had sent to me was from the New York Post, right? So the New York Post, they had a title saying, oh, Michelle Trachtenberg passed away after a series of troubling social media posts, right? So when someone really young passes away, and then in a title or in an article, they're hinting that she was writing these troubled things that were worrying people, the first thing that comes to your mind is she was slide, right? So that's what I thought had happened. So I do want to say I'm disappointed in the way that the New York Post broke the story. It was very misleading, in my opinion. Okay. So TMZ is clearing it up. No, that was not the case. It might have been complications from a liver transplant that she recently received. Okay. A representative for Michelle told TMZ, and I quote, "It is with great sadness to confirm that Michelle Trachtenberg has passed away. The family requests privacy for their loss. There are no further details at this time." And unfortunately, because they have such deep law enforcement sources and context, TMZ was able to get more details than the family wanted to see revealed. And some of those details that they revealed were just, in my opinion, they should be ashamed of revealing that sort of thing. It's too much. We don't deserve to know all that, not even don't deserve, but it's none of our business, right? All we can do now is just uplift her memory and continue to share and bond and connect over our love of Michelle Trachtenberg, okay? Kambule was just watching her character on Gossip Girl Tuesday, and Theo, you know it, I was a ferocious reader in that time, and I missed that era. I have so many books here, and I half read them, but I really need to get back into that. I think it's the TikTok brain now. I have such a hard time really fully committing to finishing a book. And so I'm trying, y'all. Jaleesa said, "My grandpa passed away at 48 years old from complications of a liver transplant. I am so sorry to hear that. Rest in peace to him as well." It's so difficult. It's so common for the body to reject transfers and stuff like that. And so it's always still so shocking and sad when you hear this sort of thing. So, best wishes to Michelle's family. I saw a comment from somebody about Ali. Let me see what you had to say here, because I only glimpsed it. I was really kind of disgusted with TMZ tying Blake Plantation Barbie Lively off the jump to the story. Oh God, are you, is this about her post? Because I actually have her post here as well. Blake Lively did make a post about Michelle Trachtenberg that has been catching quite a lot of publicity recently. Other celebrities have spoken out as well, in addition to Kenan Thompson. Kenan, did some acting with her in the Nickelodeon world and everything. And he wrote a really sweet message about, check on the people around you. She was the first Nickelodeon movie star, really just uplifting her. And Blake did also uplift her in her own post as well, with a photo of the two of them on the set of Gossip Girl, with a caption that reads, and I quote, "This is the first day I met Michelle. She was electricity. You knew when she entered a room because the vibration changed. Everything she did 200%. She laughed the fullest at someone's joke. She faced authority head on when she felt something was wrong. She cared deeply about her work. She was proud to be a part of this community and industry, as painful as it could be sometimes. She was fiercely loyal to her friends and brave for those she loved. She was big and bold and distinctly herself, and she always had yummy caramel smelling lip gloss on because she didn't want to sparkle. She didn't just want to sparkle on camera. She liked creating a nice experience for anyone who was in her orbit, even down to the subtle smell of her lip gloss, because she cared about the sweet details." I have to say that line is actually really, really adorable. She was a kind person through and through. Time passes, you take for granted that you get the chance to see an old friend. To paraphrase, the real ones that blindside you, the real tragedies in life are the ones that blindside you on an idle Tuesday. Hold those you love and have loved dear. The world lost a deeply sensitive and good person in Michelle. May her work and her huge heart be remembered by those who were lucky enough to experience her fire. I'm really touched by the message that Blake has shared here about Michelle Trachtenberg. And again, I really do hope and wish and pray for Michelle Trachtenberg to rest in peace. I had no idea that she had any sort of medical complications going on, a liver transplant, any of that. She really, really, really kept it under wraps and everything. And so there were some photos of Michelle recently that had people kind of stirring about her appearance. This is one of the last known photos of her here at an event. And so some people, when they would see pictures of her, they would talk about her weight, her eyes, or the tinting of her skin and stuff. And so some of her last messages on social media, unfortunately, were her fighting with people about her appearance when people would make comments on her appearance. Some of it was concern trolling, right? Where people go, oh, like you look like you're so big, like this, or you look like you're so small, are you okay? Whereas they don't care, they just want to criticize you. However, I do think that sometimes some people are being helpful. There was a story, correct me if I'm wrong, but was there not someone from a reality show or something like that where they had like this lump on their throat or something, and it was a weather forecaster or someone, and people watching would be like, hey, you need to get that checked out. You need to get that checked out. And so the person went and got it checked out, and it turned out it was like a tumor or something like that. So sometimes I do believe that people are coming from a good place. In fact, that also happened in the 90 Day Fiance universe, where someone found out that they had hyperthyroidism through the audience, right? So I do think that that is the case sometimes, but I do think sometimes that people are just looking to criticize. So, it makes me sad that this was the sort of thing that she was seeing in her final days. And she was hiding this illness this entire time. AG says it's crazy. Selena Gomez's kidney transplant went well, but I think even she has had some issues, right? And continuous flare-ups with her lupus and those issues as well. And I hope that it continues to go well for her, because she's another young star who has a whole host of health issues that are unfortunately negatively impacting her day-to-day life. Mona Lana says, it's sad she will be missed. No one should have criticized her, though. And I agree, hate to see it. Jasmine says, those kinds of people are disgusting. Did we not learn from Chad Boswick? Exactly. I agree with that. Brittany says, what Blake posted about Michelle was actually very touching. If these are her feelings and they're genuine, she'll be able to express them, even if she's not so easy to like these days. And I agree. I thought it was a very, very sweet message. She did act with her on Gossip Girl. And so a lot of times when these passings happen, especially these untimely passings, people are looking to their former co-stars, celebrities that they knew and associated with, to speak up and to share their own kind of memories of them. And so I thought it was very, very sweet. I just want to put up this picture of her again, because this is how I saw her for the first time. And this is how I'll always remember Michelle Trachtenberg, as that adorable little spy with that beautiful yellow jacket. You know what? I have to see if my nephew has watched this movie yet. One thing that I love to do with him, he's turning 10 in April. One thing that I love to do with him is watch my old favorite childhood shows and stuff, and cartoons and movies. I loved Peter Pan. So last summer we watched that together. He loved it too. He saw it for the first time. There's a song that I love and the show I love. And you guys let me know if you remember it too. Okay. So I love it, especially for the theme song. It was Timothy Goes to School. And so I was, when he calls me or I call him, I'll just be singing that theme song. So he started binging that thing. There's another one. Angela, what is the one? Angela Anaconda. I want to get him into that too. And now I think I would like to go ahead and get him into Harriet the Spy, just in memory of Michelle Trachtenberg. Rest in peace, Michelle Trachtenberg. You were just so, 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 so special. I see a message here from Jaleesa about Gossip Girl, because we were talking about my love for the Gossip Girl book series. And of course, Michelle starred in Gossip Girl. Jaleesa says, you should read some Frida McFadden. It's a good getting back into reading novels. It reignited my love for reading. Well, thank you. I'll go ahead and check her out. Is it kind of like that similar kind of genre of the glitz and glamour of young adult life, or is it something else? I'm really, really curious about it. We do also have an update from Erica about the perfume that her boyfriend brought her. Eau de Parfum Salois Ayat Perfumes. Oh, Ayat Perfumes is really, really popular in the Arab perfume world. Oh, he did good, or you did good if you sent him over there with the instructions. I'm going to take a look at this one because I'm not familiar with this one in particular. Now, good morning. Hello to everybody else who is joining here. Just as a reminder, if this is your first time here, that on the Morning Report, we go live every single weekday morning to talk about the day's hottest topics. So don't hesitate to hit the alarm bells and stuff. Subscribe so that you'll always be notified when we go live. Jasmine says that she does the whole rewatching with her kids to get them to, it just heals something in you. Something about it is just so special. Once upon a twin mom life, ooh, twins. I still have Harriet the Spy in iconic orange VHS. Love, love, love to see it. Honestly, it's all so nostalgic. It really is. Oh, that really broke my heart. And yes, it was Angela Anaconda. My name is Angela. Hey, hello. Welcome to my area. I just saw them do a dubbed French version and I was horrified. I said, oh, I I'm always so like shocked when things exist in other languages because my world was always so like English centric. So just seeing it, you know, I'm like, oh, what is this? Now let's get into Gypsy Rose, y'all. I know Gypsy Rose is a controversial figure. However, she is always up to something new and interesting that people do want to know about. So let's get into her latest little tidbit about how the birth of her daughter went. She has been giving a lot of exclusives to People magazine, which I do find to be very interesting because when her daughter was born, she initially said, oh, like I don't want her on the internet or anything like that. I'm never going to show her. I want her to live a private life. But throughout the entire pregnancy, and literally since the day that her daughter was born, Gypsy has been selling stories about her daughter to People magazine. And I just feel like, you know what, at this point, like, you're not really that much above like the parents who choose to go ahead and just put photos online because I don't know, photos versus like full blown, you know, details of this child all the time. I don't know. I don't see a difference personally, but I digress. She told People, and I quote, as a first time mom, my birth story was amazing. My daughter was a little early. I started dilating at 34 weeks and 5 days. So my OBGYN was keeping a close monitor on me. So we were having visits every week. When I went in for, I want to say it was my 35th week, the expectation was that we were going to do an induction day, which would have been January 16th. It was an elected induction because Ken's mom was coming in from Austin. She really wanted to be there for the birth. So I'm like, why not? Well, because I was already dilating so much, I didn't make it to my induction date nor my due date. Thankfully, that was the only bumpy stuff. At 36 weeks and 3 days, my water partially broke and I went to the hospital. And by the time I got there, I was 5.5, 6 centimeters. They're like, okay, we're delivering. And so the doctors went ahead and gave me the epidural, had the Pitocin drip, and it went really quickly after that. And I didn't feel a thing. The worst part of the whole birth experience was the numbing injection that they give. I didn't feel anything when it was time to push, no screaming, no nothing. We pushed and within 15 minutes, the baby was born. Listen, how lucky do you have to be to only push for 15 minutes before your baby comes shooting out? La chance, la chance. My poor sister was in labor for ages, y'all. I don't even remember how long, but it was a long time. I remember we got there. She left to go to the hospital at night, and like the next day, I think she didn't even actually deliver till 4 o'clock or something like that. I have to go back and check with her. Abu says, how else is Gypsy going to make money? She can't ever have a real job. I agree. And that's why I'm at least slightly sympathetic to her when it comes to like what she's doing here, because she's very stunted, right? Intellectually and emotionally, socially and everything. She's got this criminal record and just, so it's going to be difficult for her. And this really is her only option. Cara says Harriet had the original burn book. That's one way to see it. I agree. Georgia, Gypsy is an attention seeker, and I think she will feel jealous of her daughter. Gypsy got to get the bag. Y'all really have a lot to say about Gypsy. And you know what? There are some people who are still saying, by the way, hi, Ramster. There are some people that are still saying, by the way, that Gypsy faked her pregnancy. I will say that I don't personally believe that. However, there was a post that I meant to talk to you guys about. I don't know if you guys saw this or on the internet, but Gypsy posted something about like her bounce back since having her baby, her snapback. And then it turned out that the photo that she posted wasn't actually of her body. It was like something that she pulled off the internet from somebody else. That I found to be very, very odd. I said, oh, that, what's the reasoning behind that, right? I don't know. Gwen says, I only pushed for 10 minutes, 37-ish hours of labor though, no epidural. I'm ready to faint just thinking about it. How did you do that? You are a superhuman. It's so crazy what the female body is capable of, because I follow this, I think her name is Taylor something fit. She's into Pilates. I follow a lot of Pilates influencers on my Instagram. And she's like pregnant and she is still going and doing the Pilates like every day. And I was just asking her, I said, how do you do it? Like, that is so incredible to me, because I'll tell you, like, if I'm having cramps, I went and did Pilates on my period once. And I'm someone who goes almost every day, like, and sometimes twice a day. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, I go twice a day. But the cramps and just like the way your body feels during that time, I couldn't do it. I was like, oh my God, I struggled through that class and I just don't do it anymore during that time. And this girl is pregnant, and you're engaging your core throughout the entire Pilates class. I'm like, kudos to you ladies. I don't know how you do it. Like, it seems hard. Theo says, Gypsy Rose Blanchard gives me covert nefarious vibes. I'd be scared of her. Listen, were you here for my recaps of her show, Life After Lockup? She was really manipulative when it came to her trying to leave her husband, Ryan. So she obviously was over him at this point. She didn't want to be with him. I think she got the ick. And I'm sorry, Ryan. I know you're a nice person. I know you really wanted to be with this girl, but he's just so smothering, and just, he was like taking her fame as if it was his own fame. And I'm sorry, but the man does not take care of himself, right? Like, she would want to do these activities and stuff, and the man, he just didn't want to do anything. He was very lazy. He ate like garbage. It was just, his fridge was just garbage in it, right? And I feel like this would turn anybody off, right? And so I got it why she didn't want to be with him. Like, girl, leave this man if you want to. However, instead of just leaving the guy, she started like magnifying and exaggerating everything that he would do in order to make it look like he was this terrible person, which wasn't the case. Just leave the guy. You don't need to do all these like lies and manipulations. Like, it got really bad in the last 2 to 3 episodes of the show. So if you haven't watched Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, at least try the last 2 to 3 episodes, because that's where you see like kind of like the real her come out a little bit more. Julissa says, my sister-in-law had her first baby yesterday. Congratulations to her. She went into labor at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. he was here. She pushed twice, no epidural. The guy was 9 pounds. Oh my God, she is lucky. Those of you who could just sneeze and the baby pops out are so lucky. And congrats to you, Julissa, on being an auntie. Isn't it the best? I love it. Oh, Lord, y'all are going in. And you know what? I think that that's the case, because again, she posted a photo that didn't appear to be of her own body, as Georgia is saying. And it makes me sad because she looks amazing. That's one thing I've been seeing every time Gypsy Rose posts a photo. I'm going, oh my God, like, she looks amazing. Like, how did she snap back like this so quickly, so easily after having her baby, right? So it's crazy to me that she would then go and take a photo of somebody else's body and try to pass it off as her own. Like, your own body looks so good. Like, what is going on, right? Gwen, I nearly died in 2012. Only time I said I was at a 10 on the pain scale. Natural birth was a 9. I don't know how some of y'all go ahead and have like 10 kids. Like, how? It sounds so painful. God bless you guys. You guys are so strong, Oh my God, Gwen. I had my daughter within an hour of getting to the hospital. No meds. Oh my God. C-section queen here. Ain't no way. 9.9 pounds, 22 inches. Wow. Y'all are such warriors. I'm loving all of these birth stories and everything like that. Ramster says, I got this weird vibe of her as well. She kind of got away with murder, and she vibes like I could do this again. I know a lot of people don't like that I am kind of like on the fence about like the situation with her mom. And y'all have given me so many creators to follow and watch. What was it? Becca Scoops. I haven't done it yet. I have to, y'all. I have to, so that I could see more of you guys' perspectives of her and her mom, because my only real deep dive into her is her show. So I have to go back and watch the documentary. All of that is on Philo. So I have to go do it. It's just, this brain of mine. I'm always scrambling to do all sorts of different things. Hi, Bree. We haven't gotten into the Kardashian tea yet. Don't worry. We're not yet there. In fact, after this Gypsy Rose story, we are going to get into it. So we got a little break from some of our sponsors. We're going to get into the Kardashian. And then I forgot to announce this to you guys in the beginning. However, let me put up a little teaser here. Taylor Lautner, Selena Gomez is his ex-boyfriend. He's out here talking about her body on social media. Granted, he's defending her, but you got a wife, and this is your ex-girlfriend. She's fine. Let her fiance, let herself, let everybody else worry about her. You tend to your wife. What's that all about? Come on now. Anyway, wow, 45 hours. Oh, Lord, Kris, 45 hours. God bless you. God bless you all. Mother's Day is coming up, y'all. Give me one quick second. We got a word from some of our sponsors, and we'll be back with the Kardashian news, the Selena Gomez news, and more. The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than Rothia. Rothia is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today. Like I told you guys, Khloe has a podcast called Khloe in Wonderland, and sometimes the episodes are jaw-dropping. So this particular one features her friends Malika and Khadijah. It's entitled Best Friends Tell All. And in it, they talk about how they all sat there and watched one of their friends bang her boyfriend. It was so weird. She was like, oh, my friend wanted revenge on someone. And so she brought us to her house. She said, you guys sit right here. And then she got with her boyfriend and she started banging him in front of us. And I'm like, where does a revenge angle come in? I think y'all were just in on this. Y'all wanted to do some freaky weird stuff because that's what this Kardashian family is kind of known for, right? Being into like freaky weird stuff. So I think that was that. And then she also told a story about, and she actually confronted her friend Khadijah about going behind her back to sleep with her brother, Rob Kardashian. I'm going to play the clip for you guys. I've got it right here. And I want y'all to tell me if it feels like to you that Khadijah still wants to be with Rob, because that's the vibe I got from all this. Here goes.
Work successfully with their best friend.
When did you and Rob start hooking up?
It started off as a joke. It started off as a joke to see if it would like ruffle your feathers. This is once you and Lamar were married and Robert was living in your home and I'm there every day.
Let's call Rob and see if he can.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah.
I'm here with the twins, so not to put you on the spot, but when you and Malika first started f***ing one another, was it considered a joke? Like just to piss me off? Or what'd you say? I'm sorry, I
I
forgot.
said at first we were like
just to piss
messing with you.
Just to
like,
mess
it was a
with you.
joke.
At
Dating
first.
to
She said
mess
it
with
was a
you.
joke. That's what I said. I thought.
Yeah, everything in my life is a joke.
Hi, Rob.
Hey,
Love you. Miss you.
I love you guys.
I love you
too,
more.
but she just told the story of how it started because I said, "How did?"
Yeah, she thinks I'm a joke.
No, Robert, don't let your sister stir you.
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna go. I love him. You know he's not serious.
It definitely wasn't a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke for me either. I just meant like initially when we were like filming the show and like,
You love me.
I still love you. I will always love you, whether romantically or not.
He said, "I'm just kidding."
No, I love you. I'm just kidding about you telling me you love me.
You're a clown, Rob.
See,
you don't take me seriously.
no, it was all.
There you go, you guys. So then they start kind of teasing about whether or not she takes him seriously.
Great games.
Great games.
Gamesmanship.
Great gamesmanship.
I'm kidding. It was all.
Do you want to disclose anything about
What do you mean? What about?
the sexcapades? Yes, and she said,
It was great sex.
"Oh, nice. Okay, thank you."
It was very passionate and very good.
We're two Pisces.
Ugh,
Yeah, it was a great passionate connection.
I cannot believe. What year is it?
needed.
It was so long ago.
gross.
You like that, Chloe?
No, Rob.
No, I don't even know why you asked. You don't want to hear this.
I don't know why I asked either. I honestly.
You literally asked to marry me the other day. Now you're doing this.
What?
She asked to marry him the other day, apparently. Y'all, what is going on with Khadijah? She is just so off.
I will always marry you, but I am Bobby Kardashian now.
We're not going to do this.
You can't say my name.
Bob and Bob together forever.
Who's Bob and Bob? What, your Bob haircut?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
she's
for
so
noticing.
clever.
Shit, Rob. Yeah, you better notice everything, Bobby.
Of course, I love a Bob.
Oh, Malika has a Bob. Do you know how many people I've hooked up with that I didn't know were married until after we?
So there you go, you guys. And then a little bit later, you hear Malika ask Khloe if they can invite Rob to dinner with them later. So she's here on the audience like, Rob, love you. And then Rob kind of dodges it. He doesn't say love you too. He says, love you guys too. which is a clever way to dodge saying that you love a particular person. I know, because I do. Do you ever have that where you're like hang out with somebody, right? For example, for me, this used to be like someone I was dating, his best friend. He'd be like, wow, like, I love you guys so much. I love you because you love my friend. I'd be like, love you guys too, because it was just so weird to me, And so I got that out of Rob. And then like she just kept on talking about like, oh, like she said the other day, he exposed her. She said the other day that she'd still marry him, stuff like that. I'm like, girl, you're into this guy. And just the fact that she would do this to her friend, like go behind her back and start boinking with her brother, then turn around and claim that like it was for fun, it was a joke or something like that. Like, that's so odd, because to me, especially like my besties, I talk about, my Haitian bestie all the time, but like, to me, like I see her like as a sister. So the idea of her has this ever happened to you guys, by the way? I have two brothers, right? So the idea of one of my friends, especially a close friend of mine, trying to like get with my brother like that makes me so uncomfortable, because it's like, girl, like that's incest. That's my brother. I'm your sister. That's your brother too, like, and I couldn't do that to a friend of mine either. And it's weird. And I've had that where like people that are like, I know, or I'm friendly with, not friends, would be like, oh, like, is that your brother? Like this type of thing, and it makes me so uncomfortable. If I know you, I'm sorry, you cannot get with my brothers, even if we're not necessarily friends. It's too weird for me. On that topic, can I tell you guys something a little odd? And I want to know you guys' opinions on it. And yes, she does have a baby, Jaleesa. She just got divorced. One of my brothers, he was on a dating app, right? And so he was telling me about like some of the girls that he matched with. And he's like, oh, like I matched with this girl. I've been talking to her. And we have you as a mutual friend. I said, oh, you do? Who is this girl? Pull it up. And so I see who this girl is. This is someone that I actually talk to like rather regularly on Instagram. Like we cheer each other on, and like, she was helping me with some, like she was like supporting me in something. I was supporting her in something. And she had been matching with my brother and talking to my brother, and I had no clue. I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, no. Sorry. I'm vetoing that one. That is too weird. Sorry. I can't, like, that's too weird, because it's weird vibes. If I like was in that position, right? And I was like friendly with someone, especially on social media or whatever, and I had matched with their brother and I wanted to like date their brother or something, I would tell the person. So to me, someone who wouldn't do that is a little, I can't do it. Sorry, I can't support it. I can't. Around the way, girl next door says, I get what she's saying about being a joke. Do you really? Tell me how? How? Because I don't get it either. It's kind of like Theo asked, are people really boning as a joke these days? While we wait for your response on that, there was another story about Kris Jenner. So basically, Khloe exposed the fact that once she went on a date with this NBA athlete, and the guy was just not calling her or trying to ask for another date or anything like that. Kris was in the other room, and she was talking to one of these. She was talking to Malika, right? Kris was in the other room. She overheard the conversation. She said, "Oh, Khloe, like, what's the deal? Like, did you give him a BJ?" And Khloe goes, "No, I went on one date with him. Why would I be doing that?" And Kris goes, "Oh, well, no wonder he's not calling you back." And then she walks off. Kris, you are never beating the pimping allegations, the Kim Jong-un allegations, girl. I'm sorry. That is just so weird. And I believe that Khloe was only like early 20s at the time, right? Teens to early 20s. Very, very weird. Very, very weird thing to say. Honestly, that girl, she's very odd. Let me catch up. And Houston, it was so weird. I was like, girl, you could just tell me. I'm one of those people where I don't care about things. Just tell me. Be forthcoming about things. That's all. Ramsey says too much time on Kong's hands and tons of money to just throw around makes Kong do really shady, suspicious, weird, and mean stuff. Tia. Who's Kong? Oh, are you talking about the shady suspiciousness of like the hooking up with her brother behind her back thing? Stephanie says she was trying to use you to get to your brother or the other way around. Ooh. And this is why I like talking to y'all. Y'all always give me perspective on things. I don't know. It's so weird. At least say something, girl. Because we were distant enough, because we weren't besties or anything. We're distant enough where you could just be like, tell me, and I'll be like, oh, cool, whatever. Amy says, I literally just started dating my best friend's brother. She was the one who instigated it. It's weird, though. He looks just like his dad. I love love this. Amy. See, like if the sister's going for it, I think that speaks to like, okay, like the brother's a good guy. She's going to vouch and put our friendship on the line for this and stuff. Like it could become awkward, but like she believes in me. She believes in her brother. What's the tea on his dad? Is his dad like a silver fox or something like that? Why the upside down smiley face? Is the dad hotter than him? Come on, come sit by us. Come with the details. Wow. Houston Rose says, Nasty Kris can't wait to make money off the grandchildren like her kids. I agree. And they've already started with all of them, right? That was a weird mom's comment, right? Kris has no boundaries with these kids. And like a lot of it has been just so like, oh, a lot of the stories you hear about the things that these kids do. Remember when like Kourtney and Khloe were smelling each other's coochies, and Khloe was talking about how she used to fling around Rob's pee Willie as a kid. Like the family is very weird, actually speaking. And the more and more stories that we hear, like the weirder it gets. I'm actually kind of like, do you guys remember? If you guys are avid Real Housewives of Beverly Hills watchers, then you're probably aware of that book, House of Hiltons, and how it talked about Big Kathy, aka Kathy Hilton's mom. Like, I get those kind of vibes from Kris, you know? I need an expose on her. Around the Way says, like, we're here. They are coupled up all. Oh, okay, I get it. Let's be in front of them too. And they used it to finally show their feelings for each other. Now I get what you're talking about. Okay, I see how that could lead to something a little bit deeper for sure. Pun intended, I think, accidentally, but I'll keep it there. Star, also pun. Star says, maybe she didn't know it was your brother. That's a good question. I don't know, because I post my brothers on my social media from time to time. And he has the same last name as me, and this girl went to school with me. I'm not buying it. No, she knew. She fucking knew. TikTok joke. If Kris was joking, it's kind of funny. Who's Kong? Ramster, we want to know who Kong is, girl. Who's Kong? And Amy with the update, the dad is a zaddy. Girl, I love it. Thank you so much for your reporting. We needed that. We absolutely needed that. My best friend's brother. I don't know that song, but I had to go and listen to it. I did listen to another song that you had recommended, Theo, and I really liked it. Now let's get into Selena Gomez, y'all. This is our final story of the day. Selena Gomez has been getting a lot. And thank you, Ramster. It was Khloe, you guys. Khloe is the Kong. Selena Gomez has been talking about her, Selena Gomez's, or people who follow her have been talking about her transformation when she showed up to the Screen Actors Guild Awards, looking a lot thinner than she had been looking for the past year or so. Of course, there were Ozempic allegations being thrown around. I have to be honest with you guys, I personally was a little bit taken aback too, because, you know, I've been used to her being fuller for a while now. So I was taken aback by this. But of course, I didn't go online and comment or anything like that. However, I like the post that Taylor Lautner shared, although I don't think it's appropriate for him as a married man to be posting about his ex-girlfriend's body. And it's about how people will always tell you that you're too big or you're too small, right? So in 2024, you're seeing the types of messages that she was receiving, saying things like, really, not to be mean, but it's time for Ozempic. I remember when she used to be hot. Oh, she big. She's an absolute unit. Things like this are so terrible to say to anybody. And looking at her in this photo, what are people even talking about, right? Like, she looks like a healthy size. She looks like a happy woman. I don't know how anyone could look at this photo and go, oh, you need Ozempic, you're too big, you're too that. Like, what are they talking about? Look how fabulous she looks, right? Now, here she pops out the next year looking noticeably thinner. And she gets more comments insulting her, right? Now it's, oh, she caved and got Ozempic when people were telling her it's time for Ozempic last year. Now all of a sudden she looked better thick. Meanwhile, people were saying she used to be hot. She's big. She's a unit. Now it's skinnier and prettier. And here's the proof. Keep your curves. Meanwhile, when she had the curves, she was getting dragged. Another one, award season Ozempic, 24 milligram, pathetic. She was a whale a couple of weeks ago. It's magic. When do people like start speaking like this online? It's so sad. Like, when did this become normal? Like, her on the left, her on the right, she looks fine either way. I think it's one thing to notice that someone, like, you know, has changed, but to go and write these kinds of messages is just so vile. Like, people are so mean and so ugly these days. Like, these comments are so ugly. Anyway, when Taylor Lautner posted this, he captioned it saying, "It's a cruel world full of hate out there. You can never please everyone, nor should you have to. In my experience, it doesn't make the word sting less. It just refocuses you onto what matters. And it sure isn't the shape, color, or appearance of your body. Daily reminder to all of us to not forget how beautiful you are inside and out." And I agree, right? And to be a little bit nicer, I agree. None of these comments were necessary at all, especially to the person. I feel like it's one thing to speak, about celebrities in different venues, like here on our stream, on Reddit, on Twitter, on Threads, whatever. But to actually go to their personal pages and to post these kinds of comments towards them, like, is just so disgusting. And even like, in speaking on these streams and stuff like that, like, I feel like you guys are really respectful people, like if you guys have something to say, like sometimes you crack jokes about people or this or that, but I have never seen you guys say anything, thank God, like even remotely close to what is being said here. This is just really, really, really ugly commentary. And I hate that she had to see these comments, right? And it's always the case. I feel like Kylie Jenner is a prime example of this, right? People used to make fun of her looks so much, you guys. They were just coming for her left, right, and center. They were just, especially comparing her to Kendall and stuff when it was announced that the two of them wanted to model. People would just call her ugly all the time. Her sister Khloe as well, all the time, day in, day out. Imagine that. And then when you start to believe it, and you start to change things about yourself, now all of a sudden you were so beautiful before, you never should have touched your face. You really can never please people. At the end of the day, all you can do is try your best to tune out the noise and do whatever makes you happy, right? If you want to be thicker, be thicker. If you want to be thinner, be thinner. If you want to get Botox, get Botox. If you want, so long as it's for you, right? Because you're never going to please everybody. Stephanie says, I was confused when I saw Selena at the SAG Awards. No, she had recently announced that she couldn't get pregnant, if I'm not mistaken, that's not really in her future. Lisa says, I can't deal with Selena. I get juice chills when her name gets brought up. Oh, damn, y'all. I mean, she's beautiful either way, but what a difference for sure. And I agree, right? It was a difference, but like, I don't think it warranted the comments that people left for her. And I agree with Jasmine that it wasn't okay. And with Venetia, that she's beautiful. And I think she got a big win over there at the SAG Awards. So congratulations to her on that. Theo says, people on social media just hate on people to hear themselves talk. Yes, they don't even think about what they're saying. I agree. And a lot of times if they get called out for it, they say, oh, they'll be fine. They're rich. So people deserve cruel treatment just because they're rich or just because they're famous or this or that. Like, it's just the level of jealousy and hatred and anger and vitriol is just so wrong. And I'm with Georgia. Listen, I personally don't really care for Selena that much either, right? I feel like Selena is similar to like some of these other celebrities in that they just have this like victimhood shtick that I find really annoying. And she has had a lot of weird, like problematic things that she said as well. But I don't think, that doesn't motivate me to say this kind of thing about her. So, I like that Georgia's like, listen, I don't like her, but that's so wrong, because that's what it is. Whether you like these people or not, like right is right and wrong is wrong. And these are just the things that you shouldn't be posting to people, especially. Imagine if you were receiving these kinds of things about yourself, right? Like, oh, and I agree with Angie. It's the inner voice that nobody needed to hear, right? And it's like Kristen and Jasmine are saying about people being keyboard warriors. So terrible. Yuck. JJ says these people are conflictive and confusing in the comments. Selena's beautiful. Take away the comments, right? And that's what I love about Meghan Markle coming back to social media and Instagram and stuff is that she turned off the comments, right? Like there's a whole media industry that is built on trying to get people to hate her, and she is not going to allow them to come into her personal space and to leave these kinds of ugly comments. I wish more celebrities actually turned off the comments because it's just so damn detrimental. Guys, I'm about to sign off on the morning report, but I've got some final comments that I'm about to read on my way out. AD is hoping for her labor and delivery to go smoothly. We're all hoping that for you too. Please continue to keep us updated, AD. We're so excited for you on your pregnancy. And yeah, we hope everything goes smoothly as well. We can't wait for the update too. Delisa, listen. Never. Honestly, just the idea of all this is so... And my older brother, he likes to call me with like his dating stuff. And so he'll show me some of these messages that the girls are sending him. I'm like, oh, take it away. Ew. I don't know how the Kardashians are so comfortable speaking with their brother like this, because to me, like anyone flirting or whatever is just so weird to me. I don't want to hear it. It's just, oh, leave me alone. Leave me alone, you guys. Ask Stephanie, I know what you're talking about. No, she did not announce a pregnancy. She announced that she could not get pregnant. And yeah, that was the thing. Yeah. It was like the day after they announced the birth of the baby or something like that. It's things like that that make her kind of odd to me, you know, just anyway. Bree says, I was happy for Selena. She was going through a lot of health problems and relationships. She looks happy, and she really, really does. Okay. I agree. And let's leave it on Brittany's note here. Shaming anyone's appearance is flat out wrong and hurtful. I agree. And I want to say let's be better, but I think that you guys are a lot better than that. I don't ever see you guys participating in that, so I can't even say that here. But like in general, in case you're stumbling upon this video and you've ever done this, let's be better. Don't do it. It's not fair. It's not nice. Take good care of yourselves, you guys, and I will see you for tomorrow's morning report live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just make sure to hit the live tab of my YouTube channel and the bell so you'll be notified when I go live. Cheers, y'all. Have a great day.